Alphen was considering how best to help to carry Wicklumut's plan. Well, the hour of departure is at hand. Those of us remaining here shall accompany you. I, for one, would like to see the dome firsthand. We set forth as soon as everyone's ready. There you are all. Lamonti? I'm seeing the people come together as one, knowing they haven't given up. Everyone's here? Good. This is it, my friends. We go to strike down Zoralja and secure peace for Tuliolal. We'll be passing through Yyasulani, where there have been reports of enemy movement, so stay sharp. The Lions Guard had told me about them. They emerged from the dome in quick succession and took to looming overhead. A display of force like the vessels in Tuliolal. Indeed, and while they haven't taken any aggressive action, I want to see how things are in the area before moving on. We'll be passing few settlements on the way to Yyasulani Station. It's a perfect opportunity to look around. In that case, Patios and I know a few locals who can help. Now let's divide into two groups. Let's go. Understood. Once everyone has finished, let us reconvene at Yyasulani Station. You can start with Hitsuai. That's where the DOS watch is based off, if I remember. You do. The Sheriff Kameka should be able to tell us a few things. So we're almost done with this section, right? So we're almost done with Yyasulani, and then we're going to start this, and I'm assuming this is like the last section. Oh, it's you two. And I'll be Val Wicklumut as well. You're Sheriff of the Dust Watch, yes? What's the situation here and what's why? Well, the enemy hasn't tried to pick a fight with us. The ships have us as a shock when they first appeared, but they're just floating here, holding position. That said, I've received some unsettling reports from elsewhere. We've been investigating to the extent we can, but we're spread thin and haven't looked into on Yyasulani Springs yet. Apparently mechanical soldiers were seen in the vicinity. But if this is true, then the people there are in danger. I'll worry about the outer township as well. If the rest of you could head to the springs, I'll pay a visit to Metsuetsu and I'll accompany Erinville. See you all in a while. And all clear this way. Mechanical soldiers don't seem to be in the area. They're probably out in the outskirts. So we should talk to the locals. Let's each make rounds. I would assume they're probably up here. Ah, you're the one who helped us the other day. While Leek and the others are out investigating, it was after the train had begun its journey back here at the Dome appeared. So those who are riding the train then are fine, but we don't know what's become of those who disembarked. What a mess, and just after we finished fixing the tracks. It shows no sign of life. It appears to have been run true of a pole arm. So it looks like they defeated it. That's good. Looks like they were able to defeat that one. Hopefully they were able to defeat some of the other ones. There's a Yate. Us came. As you can see, we're doing alright. After those ships appeared in the sky, soldiers clad in white showed up and surrounded the town. To our surprise and relief, a traveler came along and dealt with them all in a flash. I'll never forget the way he soared through the air, spear. Oh, that Estinian saved them. Okay, makes sense. So Estinians saved all of them from the attack. Interesting. It appears they were saved by Estinian Woklamat. You heard about this beer man as well. That couldn't be anyone else. What's this? Someone spreading more gossip? Talk of how I saved the town travels fast, huh? That's not to discount the help of my friend here, who gave those machines a real beating. I thought you'd come sooner or later. Do you know what's happening? So you were indeed the one keeping the people safe, thank you. Think nothing of it, the automata aren't particularly strong. But are the rumors true? Gulul Jaja is slain. I'm afraid so. Zorolja used some dirty tricks to get the better of him. We'll make him pay for what he's done, mark my words. You're going to help her, I assume? I see. Why, you're contingent, you won't lack of strength, in which case I will remain in Yyasulani and keep an eye on things. That helps us more than you know. I'll send word to my brother before we set off. If you find yourself in trouble, don't hesitate to contact Kawana. Kawana? Brother? Wait a second, you're the vow of a resolve. I am, and you're Zekua, right? I'll be counting on you to keep everyone here safe. Absolutely. If more of those hollow men show up, I'll send them packing. I'm the fastest gun in Yyasulani, after all. Patio's gonna test. Glad to hear it. We leave Yyasulani in your capable hands. Let's get patrolling then. Stay safe out there, and don't do anything reckless. Wasted words, eh? Just do what comes naturally. Alright then, it's time we headed to the station and join the others. Thanks to Sinin, there were no casualties. The Hetzer were safe as well. At the very least, there are no sightings of the soldiers. What about the dome? Did you learn anything? It composed of exceedingly high concentration of lightning energy. To even touch the barrier would prove fatal. When approaching it, we must exercise all caution. And how are we supposed to get inside? If Zeralja and his army emerge from within, there ought to be an entrance. An entrance, you say? If it so happens, we might have an inkling where the one is. These are the engineers of the Cactuar railing, which operates the train between Yyasulani and Yyasulani. When we went out to recover the train, we had ourselves a look at the dome through the telescope. It was then that we saw it, a large fortress-like structure that looked like it saddled the dome's edge. You're telling us part of it is inside and part of it is outside? That seems to be the case, yes. While we only observed from afar, the soldiers were coming and going from it. From that, I'd say it serves as a passage between the outside world and whatever's inside. As I'd expect, the area was heavily defended, and won't be easy to get near. Do you know what became of the passengers who went to Yyasulani? Yyasulani's nursemaid was among them, a woman named Namika. What? I'm afraid not. Only those passengers who were headed back here are accounted for. I can say for the fact that everything was fine when we arrived in Yyasulani. But when that big tremor struck, not long after we left the station, I hit the emergency brakes and looked back. All I could see was the dome. What's more, the fortress sits right on the tracks of all places. What are the odds of that? Assuming this fortress serves as a means to pass through the dome, we should first determine how we're to reach it, undetected. I don't care if we're detected, I say we smash our way inside. Despite how it sounds, I actually gave this some thought. Zeralja wants me to prove that I'm Father's worthy successor. If I fail, he'll destroy the Yyasulani. By charging him head on, I make my intentions plain as day, and in so doing, keeps his eyes on me. A bold strategy. I like it. Of course, your plan will be no good if you're cut down before reaching the base. What you need is something that'll get you there quick and break through their defense with a single decisive blow. And we have just that. Since the track goes straight to the fortress, we can reinforce our train with armor, load her with all the fuel she'll carry, and send her hurtling at it to explode on impact. Chief, have you gone insane? You were just saying how relieved you are the train's in one piece, and now you want to turn it into a boom boom? The train's not important. Our dreams was to have the railroads running from coast to coast, remember? If these invaders have their way, there may not be any more railroads, let alone trains to run on them. Is that what you want? It's a sacrifice we have to make. These good folks are willing to put their lives on the line to get inside that dome and put a stop to all this. The least we can do is help them. But Chief... Listen, no matter how hard things may go, no matter how many times we fall, we can always get back up. As long as we're alive, we can always build another train, so have faith. What if we fall really, really hard? There's no getting back up if we're dead. No one's dying on this train, I'll see to myself. Needless to say, this will be a one-way trip, and we'll need to jump off at the last moment if we don't want to go out in a blaze of glory. You alright with that? There's no changing her mind, is there? Just promise me you'll be careful out there. Let's do this. We'll keep your wife safe, we promise. I'll hold to it. Can't start a family business without her. It'd be a lie to say that the loss of the train doesn't concern me. But with good friends and loving Bly, all we need, we're good. Well, at least it'll go down as the legendary train that saved Terral. That it will, but first, we've got work to do, so she'll look the part. I don't know much about Magitech, but if there's anything I can do, you need to say the word. We'll keep that in mind. If any of you are able to lend a hand, there's work that needs to be done in the storehouse. Okay. It seems we have a path forward. I believe this is a good time for me to return to Tuliyola. I shall return as well. I have a new investigation to pursue. The dome's elemental aspect, similar to that of the gate in Golden City. If we can identify the connection, we may learn something. It's one mystery after the next, but at least we're not without clues. It may not be easy, but I know we can get through this together. Even only just having met, I can see how important the train is to Walika and the engineers. We can't let their sacrifices be for nothing. Well, I have no objections to the plan itself, so I have no concern. How can we be certain Zoraljah will not strike to Leolol? I considered the possibility, but when my brother told me to come and prove myself, he meant it. He wants to show that his kingdom is superior to Leolol, and it'll give him no satisfaction to attack when he knows I'm not there. No, he'll be waiting inside the dome, waiting for us to challenge him so he can crush us. Indeed, if anything, we're not likely to put Leolol in danger by not taking the fight to him. So we indulge Zoraljah, at least, until Leolol has shored up its defenses. Right, we'll charge in from the front and keep his eye on us, during which Koana will find a way to fortify Leolol. If you believe this is the best course, then we shall trust you. I expect there will be no small amount of energy. Small resistance, yeah. Thank you. Well, time is of the essence. Let's go and see what's left to be done. Looks like work is getting underway. We'll finish in no time. So what can we do to help? No need to hold back. As I understand, the two of you met on the fair share of craftsmen during the rite. Would you happen to know a few who'd be willing to come help us complete the modification? Of course. What sort of craftsmen do you have in mind? Let's see now. Perhaps my greatest concern is keeping the train safe from enemy attacks. Even with you all aboard to fend off, you manage to get one hit and zero tanks. Soldiers use lightning-based weapons, so I have a mind to install grounding rods. Would you happen to know a carpenter who could handle that? Could I ask Wukevu? A master carpenter from Okahu, hey? If they'd be willing, we'd be glad. No objections from me, just not to forget their traditional greeting. We'll need more than just a carpenter if we want this done. We've got a lot of equipment that needs moving, heavy equipment. I don't suppose you know anyone up to the task? Zermur? Perhaps Zermur can help? Zermur would be perfect. He'd be hard-pressed to find strokes stronger than the Wokui, and I'm sure he'd be willing to help. We're friends of the Wokui, I'll be damned. Will not be want for strength then. Next, I like to outfit the train with some special weaponry of its own. Like as not, the soldiers will be riding their flying vessels. We'll need countermeasures. That's true. I, for one, can't use magic, nor am handy like my brother. Any ideas for ranged weapons? Let's borrow from Koana. Yeah, have Koana get us some. Yeah, well, that'd be suitable in theory. It makes no ordinary marksman to hit the flying target. So it need to be something that doesn't require the level of skill and precision with weapons aren't exactly in field expertise. Perhaps that can be of assistance. Crystarium employed etheric cannons for its defensive, and I see no reason why the design cannot be adopted for your train. While I did not conceive them myself, I know the design. It should be possible to build them here, provided we have the requisite materials and skilled smiths. Now that sounds like something Fonjanten can help with. What are the materials we need? The barrel can be fashioned from any metal, so long as it's highly conductive to Aether. To power the cannon, we will require fire expected crystal of the highest purity. Fire crystals, eh? Might as the miners over at the springs can help with that. And if we could leave the crystals and smiths in everyone's hands, I shall get started drawing up the schematics. Right then, I'll secure us to smiths. In the meantime, could you deal with the materials? Yeah, sure. We're gonna look for materials and we'll come back. Now let's get this train dressed up and give her a proper farewell. That should be enough lumber for the armor. What else do you need? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. What can I do for you? Aether cannon's interesting. I have an idea where we can get the conductive metal, so I'll take care of it. I'm not sure about the fire crystals, though. It might be best if you spoke directly with the miner. Oh, Paris, what brings you around these parts? Purest fire crystals, you say? I think I heard them tell you about them before, but what was that about? I remember. Cyrilla and Alas. Can you find them to the south of town? They actually ingest fire crystals. If you want the pure crystals, though, we'll have to go to the oldest. Alright, let's go get some crystals. Crystal power, let's go! There's quite a lot of fire wildlife in these parts. We think it's due to the ceruleum, but no one can say for sure. Still, it's not often that you see bigger dominating sort, and that's what you need. What you'll have to do is hunt down a few of their kind, establish yourself as a threat. Alright. Let's do that then. That's the spirit. Let's go. It's like those big golden things, huh? Okay. Oh my god, let me stop attacking me. Please, just stop. No. Stupid. I'm trying to talk to the NPC. Go away. Amazing, you dealt the beast in no time. You need the crystal, right? See that he gets it. He gets it. Want to thank you for going such length, and though grumble if you knew I was asking this, please take care of at least Sheepa. I'd best be on my way. Oh, Shinza told me you got the crystals, right? I've just returned from looking for extra help. We'll see in a moment. I'll believe your readiness for them when they arrive. Damn it, I'm at a moment. All I can think about is my home. Keep your chin up, Renville. We'll be on our way soon, and we'll find your mother. It'd be good to see her after all these years. There's so much I'd like to ask her. Oh, she'll talk your ears off. Once my mother starts, there's no stopping her. I wouldn't want it any other way. Alright, let's return to helping where we can. The real work begins. Thank you for making that track. To be honest, I wasn't expecting so many of you. Since the attack into Yolal, I had been wondering if there was odd I could do. So when I heard about the upcoming operation from Kawana, I leapt at the chance. Peace will be restored, and then we can all enjoy a nice cup of mezcal. This is our home, and we'll do whatever it takes to keep it safe. I'll assist with the efforts here. High Luminary Gurfafer does the same at the capital. I'm truly grateful. With all of us working together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. Let's get to it, my friends. Yeah, let's get to it. Ah, you've done your part. Leave it up to finish melting the armor and have yourselves a hard-earned rest. Thank you all again for answering the call. No need for the tanks. Whenever you need help, just give us a holler. And indeed, we must all do our part when our nation is imperiled. Here, we love Tyrol, and we love you. Wow, walk the might. Love you all too. Your kindness and goodwill will not be in vain. Thanks again for the help. Wouldn't have been able to finish so quickly without you. Go and rest up. Alright, so now we can fly in Yyasulani. Nice. Yeah, we can fly here now. Yahoo! Completed this section. Alright. All aboard. If you have any preparations, now would be a good time to see them. The boarding call will come before you know it.
Right, we're just about done with the modifications, but I have to stress that we cannot afford a test run.
It's fine. We understand and accept the risks. We have faith in you and your craft. I'm sure everything will go to plan. With all the hard work everyone's put in, it couldn't be otherwise.
Finished at last! Behold, the pinnacle of locomotive engineering, the Dawn Blazer.
Amazing!
Yep, she's been fitted with wooden armor and a crystal grounding rod to mitigate the effects of lightning. Naturally, we had to overhaul the engine so it can handle the extra weight.
I also had her outfitted with etheric cannons, the better to contend with enemy forces. And as they're modelled upon those used at the Crystarium, I can attest to their potency.
So, what do you reckon? Given the tight turnaround, I'd say we did a damn good job.
Let them try to stop us with this.
Glad she's to your liking. I hate to let go of such a beautiful piece of machinery, but I know you'll give her a proper send-off for us.
At the risk of spoiling the mood, we should probably get moving.
Yep, you won't get far if you let them pummel you from the air, but you'll be safe enough once you reach the tunnel.
In that case, I will conceal the train with a spell once everyone is on board. It should last long enough for us to reach the tunnel unnoticed.
Right. So everyone, are we ready?
Ready, let's go.
We've done all we can. Rest is up to you.
I won't let you down. All aboard!
Vanish.
At this speed, we should arrive at the dome in no time at all.
But not before we're spotted, I expect. Stay alert!
Here we go. Stand fast, everyone.
No, you don't.
Cactuar, they switched to fire alarms!
Oh dear.
Raha, jump!
Erinville, I need you to take over for me.
Taking out the robots. Boom!
Oh, that was too close. Still alive, Erinville?
Mostly.
Now we just gotta go take the fortress?
At last, the enemy's stronghold.
Is this gonna be a dungeon?
We should hurry before they
This looks like it could be a dungeon, right?
Let's go and find out what's inside.
Yeah, this could be a dungeon. It's probably gonna be a dungeon. Vanguard now accessible. Yeah, it's a dungeon. Of course. Of course it's a dungeon. What else do you expect? Cactuar, Vanguard. Oh, the music here is awesome. Holy crap. Oh, the music is a banger. crap. Holy crap, this is crazy. Ooh, got 2 termination now. Nice. 2 charges. Ophidian the Outrider. Xander the Snake Skinner? At least he's dead. We got it. try to. We can do it. Let's just do it. It's not over. He's got more. Phase 2, let's do this. That's a unique mechanic. Oh, what? We got it, we got it, we got it. Ooh, that was a pretty epic boss fight. Bye-bye, Xander.
greeted us was not the home that I had left behind. There was no mistaking we had reached Yyasulani, and yet it was wholly unlike my memories. The lands of my childhood had changed beyond imagining. To where had I returned? We tread on, the darkened skies above a mirror to my heart, clouded with fear and uncertainty.
How bizarre. This cannot be Yyasulani, can it?
Well, it seems like they took over and they made this city out of it. I was prepared for something strange, but this, it's like another world. I don't understand. It doesn't make sense. That tower, was it always there? No, definitely not. Nor the wall over there. They came out from underground, right? Probably. The material is not something we used in Doral. It's closer to what we saw at the gate of the Golden City, or those mechanical soldiers. Yeah, they probably came from underground. Such massive structure couldn't possibly have been built in such short a time. It must have been underground. We need to learn before we can draw conclusions. That looks like a train station, doesn't it? That must be Yyasulani Station, where the passenger disembarked. Pretty sure this is Yyasulani. But from the state of it, I swear it was abandoned years ago. I'm not sure what to make of this. We should look around. For a little while. Okay. Poking around, have you? Let's gather information when I want you to take a look at this. It's one of those mechanical soldiers, long since broken apparently. But I'd say its presence confirms this is indeed Zoralja's domain we're in. What about the rest of you? Did you learn anything? So all evidence suggests this is Yyasulani Station. I have no doubt we're in Yyasulani, but I don't understand why these buildings are so run down. They were completed barely a year ago. For new structures to dare to enormous ones to appear in a flash, if I didn't know better, I'd say time flows differently here. Is such a thing even possible? We have encountered this phenomenon before, as it so happens. It may be difficult to believe our world is but one of the several. In some respects they are similar to one another, but in others wholly different. Simply put, the rift between dimensions causes time to flow at different paces in each world, while hours pass in one. Years may have come and gone. But this is Yyasulani. Even we should still be in the source. The flow of time should be synchronized. I'm not sure I follow. All this talk about reflections of dimensions. But if Yurnville says this is Yyasulani, then this must be... Your village is a little further, right? Yurnville. Uh-oh. Oh, yes, it's short distance to the northwest. Let's head there next. Rather than talk theory, it's always better to confirm things firsthand. May I be of assistance? It's still functioning. Doesn't seem to be hostile. Perhaps we can ask it some questions? Can you tell us where we are? Unable to confirm credentials, please present citizenship identification. Unable to confirm credentials, confirm. Seems it's broken after all. Too strange by half. Let's have it be. Let's leave it be and get it all going. Are those lightning rods? Would you accompany me for a moment? There's something I wish to investigate. Look, these lightning appears to be drawn to those poles. Signs suggest there's some manner of lightning rod. Let's go and take a closer look. This material appears to be the same as used in mechanical soldiers and warships. On closer inspection, it appears to be fine etching, rather reminiscent of arcane runes. I suspect they're not merely decorative. Rodposit is used to harness the lightning as a source of energy. Quite impressive technology. I'll share this observation with Y'shtola for a blessing. The dome doesn't appear to be interfere with link pearls. Thanks to you for accompanying me. Let's head to the village. What in the world? Everything's in ruins.
My home. It's in ruins. But why? What happened here? And where is everyone?
I had a look in a few of the other houses, but they had clearly been abandoned.
Damn it all. None of this makes sense.
Excuse me? Are you looking for someone? I apologize for giving you a fright. However, I did have reason to keep to the shadows. Sorolja has told me a great deal about you.
Sorolja?
Greetings, and welcome to the realm of Alexandria. I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Queen of Reason?
If you are the Queen of Reason, is there perhaps a...
Yes, if you mean to ask if there is a King of Resolve. Sorolja holds that title, and together do we reign.
Then you're both behind the attack on Tuliyollal.
And I doubt you're here to offer us a warm reception.
No, you have it all wrong. I am not come to fight. Sorolja rules alongside me, but that is a matter of expedience. In truth, we are at odds, he and I. It is at considerable risk to myself and my people that I come before you to beg your aid.
Our aid? I'll admit I cannot imagine King Sorolja is keen to share and share alike. But if what you say is true, you're still the Queen.
Indeed. But I was once the sole ruler of Alexandria. Until one day, he appeared, bent on conquest. In my weakness, I feared his power. So I persuaded him to forego violence and strike a bargain. I would remain queen, and he would receive technology that would empower him to achieve even loftier ambitions, along with the knowledge to use it. A gamble, to be sure, but if it might spare my people...
If I may, the dome surrounding these lands was erected but recently. How is it he was able to not only invade, but instate a new system of leadership in a mere matter of days?
I've never heard of your realm. And this place is, or at least was, Yyasulani. The house I grew up in is still here. But 3 years ago, that tower and these strange contrivances weren't. Nor was our village in ruins. Where did you come from? And what happened to the people who lived here? You must know!
I realize how confusing this all must be. Truth be told, I don't fully understand it myself. What I can say is that one day, people from your Tuliolol suddenly appeared here in Alexandria. Or perhaps it was we who found ourselves in Tuliolol. Until but recently, we were completely unaware of events taking place beyond the barriers surrounding our realm.
Does this not remind you of the Crystal Tower? How after the 8th Umbral Calamity, we devised a means to transport the Spire across time and space from the source unto the First. Granted, this is on a much larger scale, if that is indeed what has happened. Not only the people and structures, but also the surrounding environment. Regardless, the people of Lakeland perceived the arrival of the Crystal Tower much as the Queen describes her own experience. Sudden and inexplicable.
Well then, you appear to have a better grasp of our circumstances than we do. Indeed, more than I dared hope. In which case, a closer examination of the effects of this phenomenon may afford us more insights. Allow me to take you to the outskirts. A number of the Shatona live there as well. Perhaps your acquaintances are among them.
Hold on. If we accept, there's no guarantee we're not walking into a trap.
But if we're to defeat Zorolja, we need to understand how he grew so strong. Besides...
You're right.
Queen Sphene, before we go, Your Majesty, I have to ask, did you really have nothing to do with the attack on Tuliolol?
Noble Wook Lamart, shall we dispense with the formalities? I'll not deny the soldiers and airships that attacked your people are products of Alexandria. But it was Zorolja, not we, who fashioned them into weapons of war and laid siege to Tuliolol.
So he alone is to blame.
No, I may not have prosecuted this war, but I nevertheless bear responsibility for it.
Perhaps. I know next to nothing about you, let alone what you've been through. So by all means, show us around. I think we'll learn a lot from meeting your people.
Wonderful! If you would follow me.
I take it there will be trouble if Zorolja hears of this.
Is that concern or suspicion?
Kind of both.
Things should take a turn for the worse. Might I call upon your aid?
Sure. Sure.
I jest, of course. But you do strike me as the most capable here.
they say it's Alexandria, but I just realized something. Alexandria is from Final Fantasy IX, right? So, isn't this from Final Fantasy IX? So it's like a portal to Final Fantasy IX, because Alexandria is from Final Fantasy IX. This is basically Final Fantasy IX. Right? Oh, well, let's say we're in Final Fantasy IX now. I think it goes without saying, but we're not going to trust her just like that, right? Anyway, you look at it, the mysterious girl who appears out of nowhere, proclaiming herself queen, is suspicious. Having established that we should be worried, could use more information. So let's head to this place, the outskirts, and see what we can learn. I trust you have similar farming facilities in Tyrol? They're completely different from ours. I've got no idea what all those machines do. Ah, we settled on this approach after some trial and error. The Tyrali have their own methods of farming, which they wanted to continue employing. But the environment makes it challenging. There's too much rain and not enough light. Thankfully, the use of electrope has allowed us to fortify the buildings here, as well as provide what nature cannot. Electro what? Electrope, it's a material we use for myriad devices and applications. Topic of another time, perhaps. If you would follow me, we're nearly to the outskirts. Yes, this is basically Final Fantasy IX, right? Basically Final Fantasy IX online.
Here we are. Though you'll doubtless find much of what you see in Alexandria strange, the traditional agriculture practiced in this village at least should be familiar.
Queen's Fiend? What business brings her here, I wonder?
The Queen has come!
You look well, Paquine. And Katonye, I see you've already taken to your new position.
When she introduced herself as queen, I was expecting someone colder. Honestly, she reminds me of you, Namachi.
Me?
It's only natural for a ruler to love her people. And I should like to know them as best I can, even the most trifling details.
The more you come to know them, the more you grow to love them. Who they are and what they've built.
That's it. Beautifully put.
And it would appear that she is well loved in turn.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence. And who are these fine people?
Tuliolol's vow of resolve Wuk-Lamart and her companions. They come from beyond the barrier, but you needn't worry. They are good people and are to be treated as my honored guests.
The rumors of a link to the outside are true then. Wuk-Lamart is still so young.
So it has been a couple of years then.
Oh, where are my manners? I am Papone, a leader of sorts of the people living out here.
Papone? That is a Tonawaktanri to it.
Right you are. I take it you hail from this region as well? Teshpiani, perhaps?
Yes, I do. I don't suppose you know a woman by the name of Cactuar?
Cactuar? I'm afraid I'm not sure if I've ever met someone with that name.
Oh. Mother isn't here. But it's a relief to know at least some of the people of Yyasulani are alive and well.
Your mother, you say? Now that you mention it, I do see the resemblance.
You know my mother?
I do. Yes.
Then tell me, please, where is she?
I cannot say. Not here, but I promise I will in due time.
I have a question, Pepone. Do you recall what happened the day the dome first appeared?
The barrier? Well, I remember fixing a shelf that had collapsed after a terrible earthquake. Then the ground began to tremble. There was a brilliant flash of light, and then... Forgive me, my recollection of it all is rather poor.
You needn't push yourself, Papone. After 30 years,
30 years?
No one could blame you for not remembering.
30 years?
30 years? As in 30 years in the past?
Absurd though it may sound, there is no doubt in my mind the events that led to the joining of our lands occurred 30 years ago. Which is not to say I understand why our perceptions of the intervening time are so radically different. We only just became aware of the discrepancy when Zoralja's military base was completed, and we were at last able to venture beyond the barrier.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Years. Little wonder Zoralja assumed our father had already passed away.
It's not unlike how time passes differently in the First and the Source. The fluctuating space of the rift between them disrupting temporal equivalence. Perhaps the same holds true here, and time flowed faster within the dome.
Do you suppose time is still passing faster in here?
I was able to make contact with Y'shtola not long ago via link pearl, so that shouldn't be cause for concern. And based on the Queen's account, this encampment may have come to serve as a physical bridge between the two planes, after which the dome was forced into the Source's temporal flow.
If we're to be certain of anything, we need more information. Sveen, would it be all right if we had a look around and spoke with the townspeople?
By all means.
Time to see what we can see of Alexandria, then.
And its people. I may yet find familiar faces among the survivors from Yyasulani.
Even if I don't understand the half of it, I would learn more of this place before we confront Zorolja.
Perhaps you'd care to see how we make our living. Though we have always prided ourselves on the use of traditional Tonawatan farming methods, the use of electro-fueled technologies has led to countless agricultural innovations.
I would join you as well.
Ma'am, please, you needn't trouble yourself.
It's no trouble at all. And I promise not to cause any manner of distraction.
Reassuring words, or they would be had I not heard them countless times before. Very...
Of course. I shall proceed with the utmost care.
Sphene is awesome. Sphene is awesome.
Now then, if you two would follow me, we can begin the tour.
I can't say that I trust her yet, but I trust that her affection for these people is genuine, and that's enough for me.
Electro has done much to improve the efficiency of the farming, but hasn't replaced everything. People want to preserve their old way of life, and we do not want to force ours upon them. You went to such lengths so that our culture could coexist, even going so far as to learn our tongue. I'm sure everyone appreciated that. Communication was thankfully not an issue for the Turali tongue. It's surprisingly similar to Alexandrian. Of course, there are words and phrases for which there is no equivalent, but those can be taught with minimal effort. Through mutual respect and understanding and patience, we Alexandrians and Turali have learned a great deal from one another. I'm sure there is much to wish to learn as well, so please. Rather than bore you with the lengthy explanation, let us head back to the farm we passed earlier. Yyasulani is called. We can speak there. I guess we're off to Yyasulani. Allow me to introduce you to Masua, one of the most experienced farmhands in all of Alexandria. She's well versed in myriad farming techniques. Indeed, the wealth of knowledge she has shared with the other farmers is what allowed us the place to flourish. Queen Sphene, to what do I owe this sudden shower of praise? My apologies for the interruption. I come with guests from beyond the barrier. They wish to learn more of Alexandria, and I invited them to see how our crops are grown. So the rumors of visitors from outside were true. What manner of host would be we to deny them a good look around? I gather your majesty also attended to check the rings there? You know me too well, Mahusya. I thought to seize the opportunity to see how the farmers fare. It would appear we have her permission, so please walk the grounds to your heart's content. You go on ahead. I'll keep Sphene company. Don't misunderstand, I'm not a suspicious type, but given our position, it would make sense for us to go around together, wouldn't you say? Ah, fair point, but be sure to let me... not to let me out of your sight. I shall remain under Wicklamot's watchful eye. Pray come find us after. They're saying that you and yours are visitors from beyond the barrier, is that true? Oh, so it is, which means we're connected to the outside world again. Not that I have a desire to leave, mind you, I'm quite content with my life here in Alexandria. Setting aside, if you're here to observe the work, as you can see, I'm in charge of livestock. Here at Yuppies Hollow, we produce not only fruits and vegetables, but also meat, poultry, and eggs. Tending animals is an absolute joy. Well, I need to get back to it. Please give me my regards to Queen. Oh, no film on your face, I gather this is your first time on the side then. Well, this is the storehouse, or rather the entrance. There is a storehouse underground, much more spacious. Since the entrance is so small, it's much easier to prevent wild beasts from wandering inside. Parents often complain about how Alexandria technology and electro complicate our lives, but it's just a matter of learning how things work. Take my job, for instance. I'm presently overseeing storage. I'll be taking up the tower for processing, and from there find their way to every dining table in Alexandria. The work is hard, I'll not deny, but I take great satisfaction. Light levels appear to be fine. As for the power source... you wish to know about my job. I tend to the fields, mostly watering the crops, keeping the soil fertile, and so on. It admittedly took some time until I finally understood how best to carry out the duties. I also manage the lamps we use on the field. The land and sky being what they are. With my parents in Alexandria, I didn't grow up knowing much of anything about farming. Every day is an opportunity to learn. I see, don't be too hard on yourself. Anyone would have been hard-pressed to deal with such a thing. Oh, welcome back. My apologies for failing to notice you. I gather you've had your fill of speaking with the farmers. Then let us return to Mahuaswa. Oh, what are your impressions of the farm? Everything appears surprisingly normal. Oh, that's comforting to hear. Your words serve to affirm that my people do not work with undue strain. And what did you think of our little tour, Lamonti? What'd you call me? Was that inappropriate? My apologies. I heard the others call you by that name, and I thought... No, it's fine. As you said before, we've no need for titles and formalities. As for my thoughts, I was very impressed that machines could be used to overcome so harsh an environment. I've never seen anything like this. The feeling is understandable indeed. Many still find the machinery behind me baffling. It's a system that controls the distribution of water for the fields and livestock. It's been acting up lately, though. Acting up, you say? You didn't worry, my queen. It happens fairly often, but simply it's taking in water that had a strong lightning charge. I think some creature have become charged up with energy, and they're releasing it onto the river. The system would return to normal if the creature were dealt with, but I'm reluctant to beg the army. We could take care of that if you like. That is most gracious to offer, but it is much too dangerous. Oh, it's no trouble for the Valor Resolve of Tuliolal. Regardless of how relationship between our nations may develop, there are people in need. I want to help, simple as that. Thaddeus is even stronger than I am. It shouldn't take us too long. Then very well, I gratefully accept, but please take care. This ought to go even faster if you and I search for lightning charge fiends. Good hunting. Ah, you're both alright. Thank goodness. You really needs have worried so much. We barely broke a sweat. Of course I was worried. You're my guests. Hey, thank you. I appreciate this. Indeed, with this we won't have to ask Zoralja's machines. He's been making a concerted effort to bolster his forces, sparing but a fraction for the people's protection. He thinks nothing of our safety, unlike the Queen. That's enough, Mademoiselle. If you have grievances, I will hear them later, but to speak of the king now... No, she's right. He's never been one to look after his people. Anyway, thanks for letting us know the tour of the farm. The folk here are delightful. It was a pleasure to meet them. You couldn't have favored us with more uplifting words. My people are my pride and joy. And you never fail to let us know, nor how much you care. Of course, you're my precious family, all of you. You seem a good sort, Sveen. That I'll admit. But you'll forgive me if I'm not ready to lower my guard for the enemy queen just yet. Aha, for you to be called that. I dread to imagine what villainy your majesty has committed. Come now, this is no laughing matter. A ruler is responsible for the welfare of countless lives, and one wrong decision can lead to untold suffering. Failure is unconscionable. No, I believe we are done with the farm. Let's move on, shall we? I like Sphene so far. Sphene is awesome. Sphene is the best character this expansion so far. Best character in the game. That's all I gotta say so far. On the cloud. Perhaps we should head back to the outskirts. I dare say your friends will also have returned by now. My thanks again for dealing with fiends. Come and visit us in time. Do you hear that?
What's happening over there?
It's nearly time.
I'm glad you could make it.
Are you with us?
Queen Sphene has come to see you.
We're here, Namika. Everything is going to be all right.
Oh, walk.
What's the matter, dear?
It can't be. That's the bangle I gave to Namika.
You know her?
Of course I know her. She was like a mother to me.
I see. She was always willing to lend a kindly ear to others, but rarely did she ever speak of herself.
Is it really you?
She must have arrived shortly before the barrier manifested. For us, it was perhaps days, but for her...
Namika, it's me! Wuklamat!
I'm afraid her time with us is nearly at an end.
Has she no more soul cells?
She always used hers sparingly, but at her age, it wouldn't make a difference.
Ma'am, the ushers have arrived.
Thank you, Namika, for your many years of friendship. Take comfort in the knowledge that this is not the end. Be not afraid. Your memory will live on, in us.
Living on in memory. The Giants share a similar belief.
Wait, where are you taking her?
Worry not. She is being escorted to a medical facility in the tower. There we will ease her burden. I had hoped to make arrangements for her sooner, but she wished to remain here for as long as possible. I could not bring myself to refuse her.
Is there any way I might stay with her for a little while longer? We may not share the same blood, but she was my mother. Please.
Let us give them some time alone.
I mean, it's been 30 years for them, right?
She didn't speak, but I'm grateful that I could be with her at the end. Thank you.
It's not the end.
Hmm?
Oh, nothing. I was just thinking that we have much to discuss. Where shall we begin?
With what we can be reasonably certain of, perhaps. Between what we have witnessed and the testimony of Alexandria's inhabitants, it's safe to say that two distinct lands have indeed become one. What's more, having met Namika, there is no denying the divergence in the passage of time. Taken together, these phenomena strongly suggest that some manner of cross-rift displacement has occurred. Specifically, the displacement of Alexandria from another reflection to the source.
It does seem the most likely explanation.
What perplexes me, however, is the scale of said displacement. It far exceeds what could conceivably be achieved with a Void Gate, or even with the Crystal Tower. In essence, we are dealing with a localized instance of dimensional compression. The Ascians would no doubt liken it to a rejoining. Which invites the question, how was such a feat accomplished?
I wish that I had an answer for you, but this talk of reflections and dimensions is well beyond my understanding. I can only tell you that we lived peacefully under the barrier's protection for many, many years, until the day that peace was suddenly broken.
If I may clarify, the barrier predates Alexandria's displacement.
By several hundred years, yes. To when the continent we call home was ravaged by a devastating cataclysm. The barrier was erected to isolate us from the surrounding land's noxious influence.
I see. And it was only later that it was whisked away, along with its contents, by means unknown.
In other words, Sphyn's as lost as the rest of us, right? The Alexandrians didn't mean to end up in Tural.
But of course, our next stop ought to be Everkeep. That tower over yonder. Once you have been registered as my guests, you will have access to Solution 9 and its residential district, where you will doubtless gain invaluable insight into Alexandria's state of affairs. Unfortunately, I cannot take you directly to where Zoralja resides.
That you'd let us in at all goes a long way toward proving you're not content to let Zoralja do as he pleases. But we're not talking about a simple difference of opinion here. I've come to avenge my father. And to do so, I intend to take Zoralja's life. Are you willing to stand by and allow Alexandria's king to be slain?
A fair question. Permit me to answer it thus. My people come first. Their welfare is paramount. I will do everything in my power to keep them from harm. It is a ruler's duty. Now, I am off to register you at Everkeep. It may take some time, but you shall find the entrance open to you in due course. Oh, and ere I forget, your mother, Cactuar, you might try the Thunder Yards to the east.
The Thunder Yards? Is that where she is?
I'm afraid I can say no more than that. Make for the Thunder Yards, and all will be made clear.
It's not as if we have other pressing business. Not until we can get into this Everkeep, anyway. Thank you for earlier. And for being a friend to Namika these past 30 years. It means a lot to me.
Namika? I'm sorry, but I don't know who you mean.
What? We were just with her. If this is some sort of a joke, it isn't funny.
I don't mean to give offense, but I honestly have no idea who you are talking about. I'm sorry.
How can you not know who she is? You're in charge here. She was under your care.
Then in all likelihood, my memories of her have been stored in the cloud. Any person seemingly forgotten without reason is probably there, in the cloud. Oh, I really must be getting back to work. If you'll excuse me.
Well, this is getting interesting. Alright, we'll continue Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail next time on Final Fantasy XIV. This is reminding me a lot of Final Fantasy IX, actually. The Alexandria and everything. It's basically Final Fantasy IX. That's awesome.